Hello Virgo, thank you for joining me here. This is gonna be your monthly reading for month of January 2020. And before I say anything, I just want to thank you for your support, for coming here and checking out these videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, and also who has donated to this channel. Okay, Virgo, before we go, I have a little announcement, which is that from this month onwards, I'm gonna be doing a reading a little differently. And before I start, I just want to give you a little bit of like what's the layout gonna look like. So I have separated these major arcanas from the tarot deck, and then there is like a total 22 card in major arcana. So I'm gonna get one card for from this major arcana, and that's gonna tell us like where we are in the where you are in the in the situation, because major arcana, you know, the entire series of major arcana, it says, it actually tells a story about someone's journey, and it starts with Fool and the ends with the World, and in between there is total 22 cards starting from Fool to World, and each card signifies where you are in this journey. So I'm gonna get one card and we are gonna focus on that will indicate where you are in this journey, and then and we can have multiple journey, you know, it's just a cycle where you are in the particular cycle you are in. And then I'm gonna get more cards on different tarot deck to get to know like what's going on within that cycle, and how we can get a more layered reading and more understanding of our surroundings, you know, how we can relate to things in a more understanding way so that we can understand our situation that we are in. Okay, all right, without any further delay, Virgo, let's get into this. What do we have for you? We have High Priestess. Beautiful. Okay, before I get into all this card in detail, I'm just gonna reshuffle, put this card back into the deck so that all the major arcana are not clumped together. Yeah, you can timestamp it, you can just go fast forward me. It's gonna take me a minute. I think another sign also got High Priestess. I think it was Sagittarius. I don't know. I cannot remember, but it just come into my mind. Anyway, all right. Before we start getting more card, let's talk about High Priestess in a detail. Okay, what is this card? So this card, you know, it's number 2. So right after Fool, then the Magician, and then the High Priestess. Magician is very masculine energy, you know, it's like external manifestation, and High Priestess is very feminine, which is internal manifestation. What do I mean by internal manifestation? Internal manifestation is like really getting to know, in tune with your emotion, in tune with your inner knowledge, which comes from which does not come from some kind of book or some kind of other people are telling you to do though. It's like our body has its own knowledge, has its own memory. Sometimes we forget to acknowledge that because of the the rational kind of world that we live in. But that knowledge is extremely powerful, which often we say gut. In some culture, that's gut knowledge is the primary brain, more than our brain like logical knowledge. And that's so you understand the significance of it. You understand that High Priestess is this month you are really empowering that knowledge that you have within. Like that knowledge that you get from your, not by using an analytical approach, not by using your analytical skill, but using your sense, like more emotional and intuitive and instinctive knowledge, instinctive skill. That's what you are going to be using in this month, because that's where you are now in this cycle. Wherever, which cycle, everybody, we are going to have a different kind of cycle, but it doesn't matter which cycle you are having, you are embodying this energy for now. So you are going to be very much in tune and empowering. You are going to be empowering your this inner knowledge, your inner skill, and you are going to be listening to that. And it doesn't mean that you are going to you're not going to be too vocal about that, how you are making decision. Maybe you had that like track record that you always make decision on the basis of logic. If it makes sense on the paper, you are going to go for it. But that's not, yes, that is smart in a real way, but actual smartness is also people who understand the dynamics of the situation, not just what's written on the paper, but what are the other factors that affect that fact. And that kind of knowledge mostly come from our inner knowledge, which may not other people gonna give you. You just get it because you are listening to your body, you are listening to your inner wisdom. That's where you are this month, and which is very good to start this year with such a empowering inner knowledge, because that's gonna really make you feel so comfortable with yourself. It's not gonna make you feel, oh, I'm not gonna make you feel strange or weird in your own body. You know what I mean? Because you are really accepting, you are really getting in tune, getting in touch with your, what you have to say to yourself. That's where you are. Okay, we are just gonna put this as a crowning energy here, and then we are gonna get more cards to see what's going on underneath. Okay. Yeah, Ten of Swords. See, look at this. I'm gonna get more cards, but I cannot stop and say this to you first. Ten of Swords. Swords is all about mind. Swords is all about our mind power, where we collect this information, then we analyze, then we go, like deeper into it. But mostly it comes from this kind of mind oriented knowledge, not body oriented, not intuition oriented, not instinctive or instinction oriented. So Ten of Swords, you are done. Like it, you, maybe you are in a process, you are in a cycle, you are in a phase of your life where something is really taking a toll out of you, and you have been trying to solve the puzzle, trying to understand where this person coming from, or why this project is not working, why your co-workers are not respectful to you, and why your parents are not understanding. Whatever situation you were in, you have been trying to solve that through your mental energy, but it actually burned you out completely. You feel exhausted, and 10 is also a completion. So now you are really getting smart, and you're thinking, what, if option A is not working, I need to be flexible. And you are the mutable earth, so you have that, like earth are much more stable kind of energy. They are not really very good at move from one ideology to one idea to another idea very quickly. But you are mutable earth, so you have that kind of groundness in you, but you also have that kind of adaptability, you also have that kind of openness in you. So you are really now thinking that, this process did not serve me well. It only make me feel that I'm exhausted, I'm drained out, I'm burnout. And it felt like the, like 10 swords on your spine, like poking in your, like stuck in your spine, and spine like pine, stuck in your spine. And it really made you feel like that you are carrying a huge burden, but you are letting that go. It's coming to an end, because 10 is an end. And see how it's gonna how it's transitioning from there. You are now beginning to get into a different kind of knowledge, which is your inner wisdom, which you are listening to your gut, which may not be supported by logic and fact, but you just know. And when you know it. You don't have to prove your knowledge to anyone to show that, yeah, I know, but I'm gonna prove it to you. Once you validate my knowledge, then only I'm going to accept that it is a true knowledge. You are not doing all this shit. You are getting into a different route of knowledge, which is listening to yourself. And that way you are unburdening whatever burden you had for such a long time, maybe last few months, or maybe last month, or last week. You have been you feel that heavy weight, and you are just letting that weight fall from your shoulder and trying to embrace a new kind of energy. This is really, really beautiful. All right, let's get a card for 10 of Swords. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, something really like you kind of went back and forth. Like I was saying, it could be any situation. It could be any situation, that it could be a project, it could be family, it could be partner, it could be office, it could be job, it could be a career, whatever you do. It could be, journey or travel, whatever, whatever stressed you out. You stressed out because you went back and forth between, because you are trying to make senses just using logic, just using your mental knowledge. You completely eliminated the fact that you have another source of knowledge, which is called intuition and instinctive, but instinct. But you did not rely on that much. You did not culminate these two together. You did not bring that two together, but that's fine. We are all learning, right? But now you have learned that this is not gonna serve you. It's only gonna make you. It did not help you to make a decision. You did not help you to bring any clarity in the situation, or join the dots. It only made you drained out. So that's what happened, because you have been really trying to understand which is what is going on in the situation that you are in. And you feel like you have multiple aspects that you are juggling, you are multiple aspects that you are handling, but you cannot bring the harmony within these two. Like multiple things can happen, but as long as it's in a harmonical situation with each other, that's what we feel at peace. But if it is all kind of on its own and kind of making a chaos, and we don't know what is going on in each segment, that can be very stressful. I think you are coming out from that kind of situation. Let's get another card. Fool, new journey. See, two double major arcana, and Fool right under High Priestess. This is gonna be a new way to do this. I don't think the people who are connecting with this reading has done like a lot of. I don't think you have been listening to your intuition a lot in your life. I'm not talking about only this phase, maybe in prior, maybe this is something very new to you. This is gonna be very new way of doing things for you. You always has listened what has been already proved, what has been already written, what has been already spoken, and people have marked on it. You always kind of followed through, followed that kind of previous footstep of your previous generation, of your I mean, you are very good at what has been given to you, but you never really opened yourself up and stretch your capability in a different way. but now you are realizing that old way of doing things is actually not helping you. So you are getting into something new, which is you're listening to your intuition, listening to your body, listening to your senses, listening to your gut for a sec, and that's gonna be feel like really a new journey for you. You're gonna feel like that it's gonna be almost like a new road, new, almost seriously, it's a new decade, new road. It's like, it's not in a cheesy way, or not in a, like, what is that called, cliche way. Seriously, you are gonna feel like that you are on a new journey. It's gonna revitalize your own existence, because you are listening, gathering, and performing and acting in a different set, on a different set of tools, instead of what you have given, what you were given before. Okay, let's get another card on this row, then I'm gonna get more card on. Even though you are like earth sign, but High Priestess is very feminine and watery sign. It's like a Pisces. So you are getting into that kind of inner knowledge, watery kind of element. Oh my God, as I say water, the moon came out. See, you are really listening to emotion, Virgo. I don't know who I'm connecting with, but this is gonna be like, seriously, it's gonna feel like you're almost like a new person. I'm telling you, because this moon and the High Priestess both are ruled by like heavy water placement. This is like a Cancer Pisces, this is like a Pisces, like those watery element is really dominating your energy right now, and you are really getting to know your emotion. Maybe you are the person who really don't think about much about emotion. Maybe you are the person who really don't give us like a minute of a day to think about how you actually feel, how you actually sense. You don't think about that. You are mostly thinking about your brain power. Your mental energy is very profound and very skilled, because you are always putting energy into that, but it's not serving you. But now you are kind of kind of turning, and now it's not that once you get into this intuition and then forget about all logic and be just go gaga. Not like that. You are really getting to know your inner knowledge, so that you can connect this information with your mental capacity, with your logic, with the realistic kind of decision. It's not like that you are completely gonna forget about realistic aspect of the situation. No, that's not what it is. It's about more getting to know yourself, more getting in touch with your emotion, more getting in touch with your senses. And with two water element, and both of them, like how many I shuffled, you saw that, right? But how many major arcana we are getting? High Priestess, Fool, Moon, like all this major arcana is coming up. That means it's gonna be very significant month for you, and you are gonna be feeling like almost you are turning into a different person in a very nice way, and you are not gonna be anxious or anything, because I feel like you are with the 10 of Swords here. You really making this choice on your own. You are really making active decision. You are really, it's not that somebody is just throwing into a different direction and you don't know, my God, what I'm gonna do in that. You are sitting in the driver's seat, and you are pulling the steering, and you are taking this turn by on your own will, and because you know that this new path gonna enlighten you. This new path actually gonna give you a lot of sense of peace and calmness. Okay, let's get, these are two major arcana. I really don't wanna get clarify on that. Let's get more cards on, because I feel like I already got the essence here. It spoke to me already. Let's see what else happening. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, King of Wands are very nice energy because it's the fiery energy. It's a very very outward energy, very, they manifest things in external way, like, okay, how can I get this project done, how can I get that person to back in my life, how can I go this trip that I was thinking, how, very, all these goals are external. But King of Wands in reverse, that means you have that passion in you, but right now you're not acting on it. Right now you're not thinking about how I'm gonna get this thing, how I'm gonna get that thing externally. Right now you're focusing on internal, because you know that once you get this internal thing, once you get in touch with your intuition, once you get to know how to listen to your gut and believe on that, in that knowledge, then you know that this King of Wands, the thing that you want to achieve in life, it's gonna come much more easier. So right now you are kind of putting in a back burner, but that doesn't mean that you are not passionate, you are not focused on what you need to get. You are very focused, but now you know, in order to get something that you truly want, you need to align yourself much more in a better way. You need to listen to yourself, you need to listen to your gut, because everybody has, okay, let me tell you that everybody have access to external material of knowledge that world can provide us. Everybody can read book, everybody can go to internet and search for information, everybody can read all this, like go to a conference, seminar or whatnot. Those information and knowledge is available to everybody. Then how you are different from others, how you can, how you can have a better upper hand. It's not that you always have to have, but how you can, know better than other people is like how you perceive those knowledge. And in order to perceive those knowledge differently, you need to be aligned with your own understanding of this knowledge, and that comes from your intuition, and that comes from your instinct and senses, and emotion, how you're in tune with that. So you're realizing this major factor. You are realizing that in order to really get what you want to get in life externally, you need to align your internal part first. Internal part as in like internal organ, I mean, what I said, like internal knowledge first, so that you can manifest all this thing externally much more easily. And you will not to have this, you don't have to do this rat race and fight with others to get that, because you will have an upper hand, because you would know how to link the external knowledge with internal knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm kind of, maybe I'm just beating up on it, but I just want to really kind of hit home with this. Not in this, I don't want you to get confused with what I'm trying to say. I just want you to know that what exactly going on here. Okay, let's get a card for King of Wands. Let's get a card for King of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles is a Taurus, energy. They are very slow. See that? This squirrel, they have their eye on the goal, and they are ready. They have their armor on. They have their what is that called? On which they ride. I don't know. You understand? Like the squirrel here, and they are not moving though. They are waiting for the moment to go. Like same with King of Wands, they are very intuitive. They know when to go for things. They have their eyes on the things, and they know how to achieve things. But right now, you know that in order to really achieve, because King of Wands is very intuitive person, so your intuition is not really your strongish suit right now, so you are working on that. Then after that, once the time comes, you are gonna go for it in a very earthy way. You are gonna go for it with dedication and determination, but surely you are gonna go for it. So that's what I'm getting with this 2 card. Yes, and I don't think you are rushing in things. Like squirrel is very earthy energy, because they know how to survive. They are all about survival. They are all about resources, and they are very quick to do that. They are very quick, and sometimes because they jump around, sometimes it may feel like, to us human being who doesn't really know a lot about animal, how they work, we think that every animal is like a replica of human. We try to mold them in our understanding, but that's not not true. Every animal has their own way of being and own way of surviving. So we think that squirrel is ADD or something because they are jumping, but that's their mode of walking. Like we walk in a separate way. That squirrel isn't just because they are jumping, that doesn't mean that they are all over the place and scattered. I don't think so. That's there because they are very resourceful. If you really watch, I'm sorry, I'm kind of derailing, I'm gonna wrap it up in one or two lines. If you really watch squirrel like day to day, like do or like I don't know, like like a live video on them for hours, you will see that how methodical they are. Even though on appearance they feel like they are all over the place, but that's their mode of walking. So I don't think, even though when you actually gonna get to do something after you go through this journey, people may think that you are rushing things or not, but I can guarantee you, you are not rushing. It may appear to them, but you would know for sure that this is the time. So by saying that, what I'm hearing is that don't rush. You will know when the time is, and it will be shared with you. You will know instinctively, you will know intuitively, because you are working on those area, right? And you don't have to rely on any other external thing to know when is the time. So don't worry about, oh, am I just being couch potato, am I just being all these things, when I'm gonna work this, when I'm gonna get this. Don't think about that. It will come to you as long as you are getting in touch with your intuition, because that's where you're not your strongest suit right now, but you are working on it. Alright, let's get more cards. Oh my god, so many. Oh my god, Tower. Look at this, Virgo. It's like a shower of major arcana for you. Tower comes. Let me get another card. Tower, is actually very nice. I feel like it's gonna get rid of the way you are going through. I feel like it may, from time to time, it may seem a little unfamiliar, and you are gonna feel a little maybe uncomfortable, because the Tower is here, because this is something new that you are doing. If you are like, seriously, if you are not very much in tune with your emotion and intuition, I can guarantee you, if you start this process, it's gonna make you feel very uncomfortable. But I think the Tower is here, even though maybe you will feel like, oh, I don't want to do that, but Tower will not let you do that. Tower will keep you on track, and that may make you feel very uncomfortable. I'm just giving you a heads up. But this is gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen because this is time. This is something that needs to happen in your life, I feel like, and it's gonna happen even though you may resist this change. But before I go ahead of myself, let me get another card on Tower. But I feel like that you are not gonna resist that much, but maybe there is a little bit of resistance gonna come over the period of time, over the period of month, on this month. And it may take more than 1 month. This kind of changes is not just a ready-made food in a microwave. It's gonna take some time. We got 2 cards. Okay, we got Page of Swords, and we have got Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So many major arcana. I have never seen so many major arcana in one reading. The Tower, Page of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. Let me get a minute on this. Yeah, I feel like that there will be time where you will have this tendency to go back to your rational side, and you are gonna undermine this inner knowledge, and you are gonna feel like what I know is the biggest thing that I know, and that. Let me change the battery. Yeah, with Page of Swords, with Tower, like you are gonna feel like that there will be a tendency that you are gonna feel like that your knowledge is the like this, the way you have analyzed your situation, the way you move through the world, you are gonna tend to go back to that, and you are gonna tend to forget that how it made you feel like 10 of Swords. over the period of time, you are gonna feel, when you're gonna feel too uncomfortable with this kind of feminine energy, you will have a tendency to go back to your own previous way of doing things. Instead of bridging these two knowledge, you are gonna go back to either or. With Page of Swords, see the how big the swords is. And sword is all about mind, sword is all about intellectual, but intelligent is not like a real intelligent though. Real intelligence is actually when you can combine two things rather than one is better than other. But this, with this huge, and Page is also not matured, it's just learning. So you are gonna think that your logical side is the only way of understanding world. You are gonna have that point where you're gonna try to tip to that kind of side, but the moment you're gonna try to go back to that previous way, it's gonna feel like tower moment. It's gonna cause a lot of unsettling feelings. But if you go on with this process, that's going to be very calm and peaceful. But if you try to go back, it's going to, because this change going to happen no matter what, whether you resist or not. If you resist, it's going to take longer. That's all. That is going to happen no matter what. And that's going to also going to put you hold on the wheel of fortune. It's not going to make you go forward. You're going to, like, okay, let me tell you this in a visual way. Let's say you started with this, right? You go like that. And in the middle, when you are here, you are feeling a little overwhelmed. You're feeling like, oh my god, I don't know how to do this. This is so unfamiliar to me. I don't know how to get into my emotion. This is so much work. I need to dig deep. And then you are going back. You are trying to go back to your previous. The moment you're trying to go back, you are thinking that your previous knowledge is the best way to understand. Tower comes, boom. No, that's not happening. So it's not letting you go previous way of doing things. It's also not letting you go forward because you are resisting. So you are going to be battling in this situation, back and forth. That's why the Two of Pentacles is also there, right there. Back and forth until you completely submit, until you become this fool, and then you can move forward. And if you just stay here, then what's happening? Tower and Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So you are not progressing forward, you are not progressing backward. You are feeling like everything is unsettling. You are feeling this awkward, strange energy where you feel unsettled, where you feel uncomfortable, unfamiliar. And then you're gonna feel like that you are juggling with two things and not knowing what's going on. You are not enjoying the sea, you are not enjoying anything. Your eyes is all on this thing juggling, because you just feel like, if I move my head, if I move my side, this is gonna fall on the. So you are gonna be this kind of stuck mode. It's gonna create a huge stuck feelings if you resist these things to happen. This is really nice visual architecture here. Alright, let's get two more cards. I'm gonna get two more cards. Nobody said that anything that is worth having is easy. So if you think it's gonna be just easy ride and you're gonna get into a different thing, I'm just telling you it's not. It's gonna be a new journey. So anything new can create, it needs patience, and it can create uncomfortability. But uncomfortable is not a bad thing. When you step out of your comfort zone, that's when you create some magic for yourself. So I think you know that. I just thought that it just came to me and I just thought of sharing it. Let's get another card for Virgo. See, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Nine of Swords. You are gonna feel like, oh my god, what's going on? These stuck feelings, this gonna create a huge stuck if you don't let it flow, because this is gonna happen no matter what. If you resist, you are only gonna stay in this stuck mode longer until you break down and submit yourself and then flow forward. and it can create a lot of stress, anxiety, and sleepless night, and all this kind of thing. It can create a lot of self-doubt. It can create a lot of things that you have already dealt with in recent past. So it's up to you whether you want to repeat your past or want to move forward. That's up to you. Okay, one more card. Take that. So many cards. Just give me one. 10 of Cups. See? 10 of Cups comes visually. Just look at the placement of the card. 10 of Cups comes right under at the end of this journey. When you start to begin, when you begin to actually manifest what you want to manifest after you go through your inner work. See? High Priestess, Full Moon, the way I described, and then King of Wands and Knight of Pentacles. So see, and then underneath is a 10 of Cups. It's really gonna give you again the water. It start with water, end with water. If you let this water flow without being obstruction in the middle, and I know it's easy to say but hard to do, but sometimes you have to do hard things, and it takes dedication and determination, and you know that. You are earth sign, you understand perseverance, you understand hard work, so I don't have to remind you that. So but if you go through this process, if you let this water flow, you are gonna have this 10 of Cups, which gonna give you so much emotional fulfillment, and then you will be ready to share your talent, share your work, share your love, not only with yourself but with others, to bring people together. And that's a beautiful feelings when you do that. When you bring smile on other people, it also makes them smile. And those kind of understanding, humanitarian understanding, and that kind of emotional fulfillment will come when you let this water flow, let this process take its own course without you hindering and trying to control the situation. Because I'm not gonna look at this, how many major arcana you got. High Priestess, the Fool, Moon, Tower, Wheel of Fortune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcana here. So do you understand what a significant reading it is? So even if you try to stop it, you won't be able to stop it, because this is something happening in a universal way. This is something happening in a divine way. This change gonna happen no matter what. You can be in this stuck mode for 5 years, but the change gonna happen after 5 years, and we can let it go and we can let it flow, so that change can happen now. So within 5 years you can see, not even 5 years before that, you can see all your things that you want to do is actually manifesting in the real external world. Or you can just hold back and prolong this process. It's up to you. Alright, Virgo, I think that's it for now, and thank you so much for being here. And if you like what I do, if you like these readings or my energy, all that, please subscribe, so that way you can just come back. And I will see you next time. Okay, take care.